5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're live with Neve.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Here we are on Live with Neve. We're glad you're here. It is going to be a gorgeous day of wind, rain, hurricane force winds. Finally, this lovely storm has hit us. I don't think it's going to be that bad. We did have some pretty heavy shit last night, a little flooding in my town. The tide was very high, and we have a bunch more of it coming in tonight. I've got some great guests today. Of course, we have our usual cast of Irish, Julie, and Mike, and myself. We've got so much to talk about. We've got great things this month. The first thing that I think is really interesting and exciting for me personally, we will be sponsoring, Sam Rourke will be here July 24th, and they're going to be here for the week. Julie and her will both be here. We're going to be in New York. We're planning on having we're going to have a little lunch with Liberty DeVito. Oh, look, it's hot, and she has a new puppy. I love it. It's always hot out there, isn't it, Kim? That's awesome. So, like I said, we're going to be doing a lot of things. We're going to be shooting video in Times Square. We're going to be having lunch with Liberty DeVito. We have all kinds of other mysterious adventures planned that the girls have no idea what I'm going to take them through. When you come to New York with me, it's always a party.
Yay.
It's going to be
parties.
Great. Good morning.
Yeah.
How are you?
Good. How are you? Good morning. Happy Friday.
You know what? I feel great. It's Friday. I got all of you guys here. I'm looking out. I don't even mind the storm. It actually looks pretty cool from up here. And who knows, if I get crazy enough when it hits, I'll drive around with my video camera and see if I can bring you scenes of the destruction. I could be standing in the wind.
Yeah, you guys do like they do on the Weather Channel, man.
Yeah,
holding on to
the weather stud, holding onto a palm tree or something, right?
Yeah, exactly. With the water, it's really bad. It's a Category 4. That's
I don't know why I'm standing here. All this and $20 an hour. God damn! I've been out here standing in the rain for 16 hours straight, and the PD doesn't give a shit.
I actually would love that job. I'd love to do that job. I actually applied a few times.
You know what? The only thing I worry about is getting like cut in half by a sign or something. It's just, you see some of those guys and the signs are like, wow.
Right?
I swear those guys, they get off on it, man. Trust me. You know this. Everybody in the media, if there's a storm, if there's some crazy, like we had a guy here in Middletown, this idiot runs around, he goes and gets stabby on somebody for like no apparent reason, or it hasn't come out yet, but for 8 hours, you do not want to screw around in Jersey. They had the state police helicopter. They had a news chopper. They had drones up. They were running around, this silly bastard's running all around Keansburg and up in that area. He's like running behind the stores. And this went on like all day. At about 7 o'clock, they dragged the poor, hot, sweaty bastard back in. He looked like fucking typical stabby guy. He's got one eye looks that way and the other one kind of looks right at you, and it's always jumping.
Many of these people?
He looked like the guy was like, I hate to say it, but if people have close relatives in their family, don't get insulted. But this guy looked like there was not many branches on the tree. I mean, you'd fall out of that tree. It would be like, donk, donk, donk. At any rate, I'm sorry. I'm up. I really am in a good mood. I promise I'm not going to pick on anybody today. We're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
So we have our two characters standing in the wings. Let's bring our boys on here. For everybody who's not aware of our crew here, I've got the Madman Mike, Mad Mike Imperato, Rentman Supreme.
Hey guys.
And I've got my brother from another mother, Irish. What's happening, Irish?
Guys, what is going on? Hey, you get the family shrub. That's what you call that. When the genetic pool is a little bit low, you call it the family shrub.
Family shrub. I like that. That's a new euphemism. I haven't heard. That sounds like a lot of fun. I have plenty of people that, sometimes it just fits. You live down south enough, you'll see some things.
No. Men are men and the sheep are nervous. Here we go.
That's right.
Oh, what?
I heard a little bit of verb on that sheep bat, and it just sounded great in my headphones.
I don't.
Nothing like a pig squeal, though.
Here we go.
You guys are shot.
Right,
you guys are shot.
We're off to the barnyard. Tell me, Mike, what do you got going on, man?
I got a couple of things. So, first of all, again, the vegans are out of fucking control. Let me tell you something. I opened the paper the other day. You reach the cooking section. Flour plus water equals chicken. No, it doesn't. It equals flour plus water. Gasoline and a match equals fire. You don't see me eating that pretending it's a freaking orange. These people are out of their freaking minds. Guess what? You want to be a vegan, be a freaking vegan. Don't be trying to make shit taste like chicken or taste like steak because you didn't like that stuff. Oh, no, it offended you. Oh, the poor chicken. Go screw yourself because guess what? You can mix flour and water from now until Christmas, and it's always just going to be flour and water. That's the end of that freaking one. Assholes. Now, it's just, now Kroger has the freaking contest for anybody that got vaccinated by them. They're giving away either $1 million in cash or a year's worth of groceries. Some moron is going to accept the year's worth of groceries, knowing that it's only about $100,000 worth, but Kroger's got a 50-50 shot that some asshole that they vaccinated is going to win this contest and say, oh, I'll definitely take the groceries. That's a great deal. Another freaking asshole.
It's like we're getting into the Hunger Games or some shit. 2021.
Now, so now you guys ever see the movie History of the World with Mel Brooks? When Moses was coming out of the mountain with the 15, and then he dropped the tablet. I give you the 10 commandments. I know what was on the other tablet because I started thinking back when I was in high school working in the catering hall, a Hasidic Jew wedding. So, and this is nothing about religions. It's about the people that make these freaking rules up. The men can only dance with men, women dance with women. On the honeymoon, they got to cut a hole in the sheet because they can't have bodily contact. The women got to shave their hair and wear these ugly wigs for the rest of their life because they can't look attractive. Those must be the rules that were on those tablets. Just like the freaking Catholic priests that had to watch the consummation of the honeymoon nights. Bunch of fucking perverts standing there jerking off under their robes, watching a couple get laid for the first freaking time. So now, because I read the Bible from cover to cover. Never once did I read anything about scrolling through a sheet. And now, meanwhile, you got to hang your laundry up. The neighbors are going to be saying, oh, my God, look at how small that hole is. Well, holy shit, that hole is freaking huge. Now everybody knows the size of your dick. It's just ridiculous. Who makes up these freaking rules that none of them were in the Bible? So these perverted bastards say, oh, we're going to fuck with these people. Oh, you want to be in our religion? You got to do this. You got to do that. It's so freaking stupid. That can you imagine standing there watching a couple make love for the very first freaking time? Because you know what? It's just perverted, sick shit. That's the Catholic Church doing that. The Hasidic Jews with this freaking screwing through the sheet ain't freaking happening in my life. Oh no! But Mike, that's what was on those tablets that Moses dropped in that movie. Those were those freaking rules right there.
If you can buy it in New York, it's not torture, dude. The sheet thing, that's like an everyday occurrence up here. You have the. We actually offer a Hasidic.
It's called a glory
store.
hole.
Yeah,
yeah. We know that, but and then you got to hang the sheet up on the. Now you got to hang your sheet up on the line, and the neighbors are saying, "Oh, look at the size of that hole, that poor bastard."
They also have to check. They also have to check to make sure she's a virgin, which is also.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Got to drag out the bloody sheet, the whole family.
And I didn't read that. That wasn't in the Bible. Read it cover to cover. Never covered that either. So those must have been on the tablet that Moses dropped. Those were the sexual commandments. Must screw through a sheet. must freaking jerk off while they're getting laid for the first time. That must be why he dropped them, because God didn't say, you know what, maybe I'm pushing this shit too far. Thou shalt not lie. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt honor thy mother and father. Thou shalt screw through a sheet with a little hole in it. No, that's why the tablet broke on the ground in that movie.
My God, Mike.
It's just.
I'm telling you this. Again, people, we're taking up a collection. We need to have Mike get some. We're going to get him some medication, and he'll be calm and lucid. No, we don't want him. We don't medicate anybody unless they need it, and then we give them lots of whatever. I mean, you know, whatever we can turn into OD. So, Mike, what's going on out in Missouri? Are you still seeing the A-10s and all these B-2 bombers and all?
Oh
that
yeah,
stuff?
last night they were coming in solo over the camper. It was insane. But I'm heading out of here on Monday. Heading back, stopping in Chattanooga for a week, then Asheville, North Carolina for a week, and then finally get back home to Myrtle Beach. I got to take care of a bunch of stuff there, and but it's getting there. But yeah, so my son's on the mend. His aunt is actually flying out on next week, so she'll be with him for about 5 days. So that's cool. I get to leave, relax, and everything's good though.
Excellent. Well, you know, Mick, I'm going to say, I extend an invite, man. Come up the end of the month. We're going to be here in the city and having all kind of fuckery. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I wish I could. I got so much stuff to get taken care of. I got appointments and I got to do a lot of stuff. But no, it's going to be great.
Absolutely. Well, for everybody watching, we're going to be doing lunch with Liberty DeVito Pizza in Brooklyn. We're going to be shooting some Sam Rourke video and some Live with Neve promo shots. We'll be in Times Square. I will let everybody know, so if any of our fans want to join us, come on into Times Square, join the party. Sam Rourke, if you're watching, I hate to tell you, girl, but you fit in the green screen better than I do, so I've got some evil plans for the green screen.
Oh my God!
Let me just tell you guys, you know, they should have not made it legal for a guy like me to have access to a green screen or a green suit, because I sit and think of the most disturbing possibilities of things we can do. In fact, Jules, next time we have a sheep bath, I'm going to have a herd of sheep run along the background behind me.
Oh, are you serious?
Oh God!
Oh, I'm gonna have some fun. Things are gonna get weird. Trust me, guys. Our production's gonna.
It's gonna get weird.
No, I'm gonna put some money into weird, and that's when weird really happens. So we're gonna have some new shit coming up that I'm percolating on in my brain, and
you do the storm chasers when the tornado hits, you know, Lover's Lane, and there's a bunch of dildos flying in the air. Dorothy's very unhappy about that day.
Oh my God!
Now, were you talking physically about?
And there goes the camel.
The camel. It's like. You know, that definitely means no. There's a video on YouTube of some guy trying to, I don't know what he's trying to do. It looked like they were tying him up for some dark purposes that I don't even want to know about. But these two Hodges.
One hump or two.
He only had one, but this guy's trying to fucking molest on him and get him tied to the tree.
My God.
For God knows what. The camel's just like, my ass is intact. He turns around, grabs the guy by the head, shakes him like a fucking dog, and throws him. I mean, you do not want to, trust me, people. God did not intend us to fucking fuck camels or sheep. I mean, if that's your thing, we'd love to hear from you.
Oh my God, please.
Do you think the possibility that someone in our vast audience of millions is actually a sheep shagger?
Probably.
There's no doubt.
Probably.
There's no freaking doubt.
I don't know. I mean, I have to ask my Australian friends. Do any of you guys personally know a sheep shagger? I have to tell you a horrible story. My dad has a great sense of humor, and about 15 years ago when I lived in Florida, it was his birthday, and he's the kind of guy, the hell's making all this noise? At any rate, somebody private's chatting. Okay, I know what you're saying, Jules. Anyway, I lost my total train of thought. I just looked at the thing. Oh, I bought him a birthday present, and we're going to go to the break. It was an apron, and on the front of the apron, it had a sheep looking forward with steam coming out his nostrils and his ears. God. And it looked like he was fucking the sheep.
Oh, now, my God.
My dad having the sixth sense of humor like I did. I mean, my mom loved it. She's like, this is hysterical. But some of his neighbors kind of took offense to the damn thing. He wore it to they live in a big adult community, and they had a barbecue, and he was over there. and he's wearing this thing, and when you look at it, it's just this very disturbed sheep getting buggered, and it's just got the smoke coming out his nose and ears makes it perfect.
Oh my God!
But yeah, I had people questioning my sanity and my poor dad's. He's like, "Oh, Neil gave it to me." That explains a lot to people, you know. At any rate, we're gonna go to the break. You're on Live with Neve.
Oh my God!
We've got all kinds of great guests coming on, and we'll
take it easy, guys. I gotta run.
Mike,
right. Take care, Mike. We love you, brother.
Care.
Love you. See you guys next week.
Love you guys. Yeah. All right.
Hi, this is Leland Sklar, and I am hanging with Neve, and I am having the best time of my life.
Live with Neve Fridays on the East Coast from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
All right. Happy day, man. It's Friday. You're on Live with Neve. We're having a great day this morning. We have a couple of guests who are waiting to come on air shortly. So in the meantime, it's just going to be me and Julie and Irish. We have so much fun coming up this month, and I'm just glad to be here. I have to say, apparently, we've touched a nerve with our animal husbandry segment. Some of our people, Pam Ryan runs Project Pets here in Highlands, and she's assured me that the authorities will be called if we can find any goddamn sheep shaggers in the Highlands.
Okay, so we've offended the Jews, we've offended the Catholics, we've offended the Christians. We've got PETA coming after us. It's a good show.
I don't know who else. You know,
Yeah, good day.
I
Just starting.
I've gotten a little hate.
Oh, we forgot the vegans. It paper.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Where's Elizabeth?
Well,
Poor
you got to get on the
Elizabeth.
vegans.
She's sitting
Okay,
here suffering through this.
Look,
Is
I got
she
to
here?
side with Mike.
Yes.
On it, okay, I got to side with Mike. If you take flour and water, when I was a kid, that was called paper mache. It's not called chicken.
It's glue. Yeah. It's glue.
Maybe that was the thing. All the paste the kids were eating as a kid, that was the side effect. Everybody turned into a fucking vegan.
Well, I guess, Elizabeth, do you have a retort? How about Liz comes on? And
I used to eat a lot of paste, though. So I mean, and
I mean, obviously, I'm not surprised. We noticed there was something a little off about you, buddy. I thought it was perhaps the penal experience, but no. You know,
no, I do find in that area. Oh, you mean the prison? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Tell me, have you ever seen?
Big hole in the sheet.
Where is yours? I mean, you just need to do a real one.
All I can say
is, but what if you literally have a glory hole back then, though? Like
you
back
just have
then,
no idea what back then was on the other side of the fucking.
No, I mean that thing had to smell like Bigfoot's dick, man. Oh,
Jesus! Now we gotten into how do we drag Bigfoot into this? The poor bastard. His name is Sam, and he wonders why people don't talk to him. He's fucking got. He needs like I don't know. He needs some kind of Xanax or something to calm him down. He's all fucked up in the head.
Well, if he quit pulling people into the woods.
Well, you know, it's interesting. I don't see any of our guests lurking in the green room yet. So for all of you who are watching, we are supposed to be talking about Gone Country hats this segment, and I'm going to do that.
Yeah, you know what? I got to order me one of those. I looked at a few of them, and I like them.
Listen, man, you tell me what. Here he is. You tell me what you want. We'll get you going with a hat. And look at that, like clockwork. This man is a machine. He shows up, he swoops in, he's taking care of business. Listen, everybody, our next guest is one of our sponsors, and we just love their products. They were able to fit me with a hat successfully after 24 hours with the wrong tape measure I had.
That was fun.
The poor guy was looking at me, and I'm like, I'm going out of my mind. I'm like, look, I'm measuring it. It's there. This is what it says. And then we go get a measuring I get another tape measure. And I measure, it's the only time in my life I've had a tape measure made that had the inches incorrectly laid out. I was going out of my mind. He kept saying, you can't have a head that small. He's like, this will fit on a child. So without further ado, We've got Keith from Gone Country Hats, and good morning.
Hi, Keith.
Hey, how are you, buddy?
Morning.
How you
Good to see
doing?
you.
Fantastic. Y'all?
We're
Good.
great. We're great. I'm back to fighting weight, man. I'm ready for action. Got
Yeah.
my arms. Can look at that, boy. I'm telling you.
Got your shoulder back in?
Yeah, well, it doesn't pop out anymore because they got like all these steel plates and titanium thing that looks like I've got an alien in my shoulder. I don't know. If somebody shoots me there, it'll bounce off, I'm pretty sure. That titanium is pretty amazing stuff. But yeah, I'm great.
You're
I'm
Irish squeamish.
Irish. Why are you? It was not bad. It was only like 8 weeks of excruciating pain, followed by another 2 or 3 months of just moderate pain. But
No,
now,
because I understand it. I know what it is. I had my arm like this once when I broke it, and it weirds me out, man.
yeah, it's definitely not fun. And I wish I had a recording of it though, because my wife said you probably just broke it in one place, and I went no, and she goes why? And I said, well, because when you break one bone, it goes. In my case, it just went. Like I could hear, I can't describe the sound, but I just sat there and I was about to pass out because it hurt so damn bad. As soon as I pulled myself up, I went, oh boy, this isn't good. And I sat there and started doing some breathing so I didn't pass out. And my girlfriend's like, what are you doing in the kitchen? I'm like, honey, I don't want to freak you out at all, but would you please get up? I've broken my arm and I'm about to dial the ambulance. So why don't you just go ahead and get my bag, get my iPad, I'll get dressed and we got to get out of here. And it was quite an adventure. The ride to the hospital was unbelievable. If I get wealthy, I'm going to buy our town a new ambulance. One of the roads was out. They took me over every bouncing road. So, and the other thing was I was trying to just keep those people amused because asshole. They set me up in the ambulance, and then this girl who's a new intern starts putting the electrodes on my chest. And as soon as she turns the machine on, I jump up and I'm like, ah! And there's 3 people in the ambulance, and they're all like, ah! And I just went, it's not that bad. Anyhow, it was pretty brutal. And they were all like, by then I had them laughing, and we had an uneventful ride for the rest of the way, but I had a couple of new friends. They didn't know. They said, well, we've never had a patient do that before. I said, well, I'm full of surprises. Here we are. And so I'm back in action. Let's talk hats, Keith. You've got some stuff.
Before we do that, I wanted to show you. This is, I don't know if you can see my shirt, but.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Absolutely brilliant. Very
it's
good.
It's my Friday uniform.
I like it.
The whole warehouse is decked out in shirts.
All right. I love it.
Each one of us has their own opinion what that other word is. So,
I don't. I know exactly what mine is.
Frisky?
Yeah, frisky.
I could come up with a few more.
Go a little bit further down the road from frisky to Ain.
Fantastic.
Phenomenal.
Far out.
Whatever. I'm just going to go for it. It's fuck for me.
We're having word games here this morning on Live with Neve. All right, everybody. I have Keith from the Gone Country Hats. Gone Country at GoneCountryHats.com. And they are some great hats. You'll notice I'm not wearing one, but I'm going to go grab one to show you these killer hats. Do you ever wear one of your own hats, Keith?
Well, of course.
I just knowing it's Florida sun, and I was thinking with your head, you might get pretty sunburnt with that one down there.
Why? Because I don't have any. I'm follically challenged.
Yes. Well, I once shaved my head and didn't realize that your head. I lived in Florida at the time, and I went to the beach.
Oh no!
And I came home with the reddest head. I looked like it looked weird. And it hurt. Trying to sleep was just unbelievable. It was misery. Hence, I always wore a hat after that point, anytime I'm out in Florida sun. But so tell us, let's just get down. Keith, tell us your story. You've been on and told us. I know it, but our audience doesn't. I'd really like them to, kind of see what you're all about. You and Judy have a great company, and I admire you guys. I really do.
Thank you.
I'm really excited, too, because I'm going to be able to make it down to the Gone Country Hats show down in Myrtle Beach. My former sax player, Gaspar, wherever you are, man, in Myrtle, I can't wait to see you. This guy's incredible, and the story behind him was I met him here and he used to play with the band, the Charlie Olson Band in Florida. I've known Charlie for 30 years, played on a record or two. We played in bands. So I'm sitting at the gig, and we get talking, and this is the first day I met him, and he goes, yeah, I played around in Florida a little bit. I said, oh, I've been everywhere, man. I got Florida sewn up. He goes, do you know a guy named Charlie O? And I just looked at him, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. He's been like one of my best friends since I was 18, 19 years old. We, raised our kids together, and it's just a funny, what a small world it is, the amount of folks. But let's get back to hats. How did you start? Why did you start? And tell us how it began. I think it's a fascinating story.
Well, the why answer is probably the funniest, but the how to is we had sold a business in the past. We manufactured the neon lights that went into cars and trucks back in late 80s. And we had sold the business, and I was in my early 40s, and I just couldn't see myself playing golf 7 days a week. And a buddy of mine calls me up that I went to high school with, heard that I wasn't doing anything, and asked me to come up and join him in Wind Gap, Pennsylvania, of all places. And I asked him, I said, so what are you doing? He goes, well, I'm selling cowboy hats at a bluegrass festival. And I'm like, okay, well, first of all, where the hell's Wind Gap, Pennsylvania? Second is, what the fuck is bluegrass music? And third is, I know absolutely nothing about cowboy hats. And he says, well, it's not a problem. The big ones are on the top of the stack and the small ones are on the bottom, and you look pretty good in that. He goes, that's really all you need to know. I said, well, okay, I'm in. And so I flew up to Allentown, Pennsylvania, and we drove probably 2.5 hours the backwoods of PA, and got to the event site. And I'm looking around, got out of the truck, and I asked him where the hotel was. And he goes, what hotel? I said, well, where do I sleep? He goes, well, we sleep in the vending tent. I'm like, okay, I didn't really sign up for this. So for 4 days, I slept on an air mattress in a vending tent, eating moonshine cherries, listening to a genre of music that I'd never heard in my entire life. But I got to tell you, the more cherries I ate, the better the music sounded. And, at the end of the weekend, I'm sitting there going, damn, that was a lot of fun. So I came home and I told Judy, I said, Judy, we're going in the cowboy hat business. And of course, she rolled her eyes the second time and told me that I'd done lost my freaking mind. So, here we are. Since then, we've built a line of hats, and we were buying from distributors across the U.S., and most of the product was made in China, and we weren't really all that stoked about it. And the turning point for us is we got this event in Detroit, Michigan, called the Downtown Hoedown, and it was quite a large event. The promoter says, we got 500,000 people here over the course of a weekend, and my eyes bulged out, and I'm like, okay, well, whatever. And so I ordered about 300. It's actually probably, I don't know how many, probably 30 or 40 dozen of hats. It was a full pallet for this event. I was having it drop shipped, and they ended up shipping it to my home here in Orlando. So we were kind of without hats from the beginning, and they ended up red labeling me that entire order. And I just turned to her. I said, we can do this better ourselves. So I went to Mexico knowing 4 words of Spanish. Hello, goodbye are 2 of them. The other 2, you could probably use your imagination. Thinking that me as a, redhead at the time, freckled-faced white boy from Indiana was going to go down to Mexico and, start telling them the style of hats that I wanted to make. And boy, was I rudely awakened by the fact that as a outsider, you just don't get past the lobby. So it took a while for me to develop a trust with factories down there. And eventually we came across a young kid, actually grew up in LA, so he spoke a lot of English. So combine his English with my little bit of Spanish, we kind of got along pretty good, and we developed a line. And now we've got, I don't know what, 225 different styles, and I'm working on some. You probably saw some of the pictures.
I really did. I liked some of the new stuff. I commented on them.
Yeah, some of this new stuff is kind of quite unique, and it's kind of, it's going to escalate us in the market a little bit as far as, the up, not really a high-end upscale hat, but, something a little bit higher up than what we currently have, and kind of bring in a little bit more of the, I don't know what you want to call them, the hat snobs.
Hey, listen, Keith, let me interrupt you for a minute. Hold the thought, because I have a couple of questions, and we're going to go to a break real quick, and we'll have you right back.
I'm Neil from Live with Neve. We have an exciting connection for our veterans, country music fans, and there is something for everyone. Gone Country Hats at GoneCountryHats.com. That's right, we've partnered with Gone Country Hats at GoneCountryHats.com. See you soon.
Hey guys, I'm international singer-songwriter Hira, and I'm on Live with Neve. See you guys soon.
All right. We're back, and I'm talking to Keith from Gone Country Hats, and as just so you noticed, this is a fine Gone Country hat. It's damn good. The only thing it needs is I need a face mask addition, I have a great face for radios, they tell me. Anyhow, we're going to get back to Keith. Bring Keith up so I can bring him full screen, because it's more important to see him than it is me. All right. So tell me, I'd love you to make a Texas Ranger style hat, one of those big fucking cowboy hats that you see like the Texas Rangers on Texas Rangers, whatever that show is or something. They just look awesome to me. Have you ever considered making something like that?
Well, we've got a couple different styles that are very close to that. You have to keep in mind that our demographic is kind of the country music festival goer.
Right.
And of course, since we went online a year and a half ago due to COVID, our market has kind of changed a little bit. But the festivals are starting back up. And matter of fact, we've got 3 of our teams are out this weekend. I got one in PA, one in North Dakota, and one in Wisconsin, and they're slinging the shit out of hats. The attendance at these things now is just blown up. And, the other issue that I have going on is, supply chain is just obliterated. So trying to work that through and, coming up with some new styles. And of course, I do a lot of testing, and that's why, you saw the images that I sent out on Facebook for opinions. And, it's a process. It really is. It takes me probably about 9 to 12 months from start to finish, and beginning of concept to end product to get something developed, and then hoping that it has sell through. So you kind of have to be a little, not only patient, but also a little careful on what you throw out there to make it. We want to be unique. Like everybody else, we kind of have our niche.
Right.
No.
Well, I like the niche. I just ordered another hat from you this week. And,
I saw that.
I've got a couple of friends that have helped the show out a lot, so I'm going to get them fixed up too in the next couple of weeks. Because
we sent you some of the cards that I developed, the little merch table cards. So
great.
Pass them out.
Well, we certainly will, and I thank you. We're gonna. By the way, the ad you just saw, we have another ad that we have the updated graphics on. So I kind of have to laugh because I saw it, and we have, we try to help out as much as we can. We talk about y'all a lot, and
thank you.
I have to say your patience with dealing with a drummer who's having a challenged tape measure to work with. You know, you were very patient, and I'm sure it was as amusing to you as it was to me. Although you're probably like, "This guy's stupid or what?" I mean, just that whole thing of looking. I've never thought to check the tape measure, and
Well,
you know, when I was a carpenter, though, I used to have everybody sit down and make sure 1 1/4 on their tape measure was the same 1 1/4 I had. You know, we'd have to bend the little tab, and they would be like, "Neil's such an ass, man. He's just got to be a pain in the ass. Tell me how to put my tape measure down," you know. And they all thought I was a jerk, but when I yell off the roof, I need a 12 7/8 board. I don't want a 12 3/4. You know, it's not the same. It's not going to fit. It ain't going to look as good. But that was a lot of fun for me. And my girlfriend Annie, she loves her hat.
Well, you know, all over the past 18 to 20 years that Judy and I have been on the road, you know, we've had some quite unique, exciting experiences. So we've decided to write a book, and believe it or not, your tape measure episode is going to be a chapter. So,
oh right, well I
stay
think
tuned.
for me that's great. I feel honored actually, because I know for me I was just in my mind going, what is happening here? I know I've measured this right. And then my girlfriend's like, I don't think you measured it right. So she measures it a few times. And then we're both like, I know it's right.
You should have seen this side of the telephone conversation, because Judy and I are looking at each other and going,
I know.
what the hell is wrong with this guy?
I know. I was feeling the same.
We wonder
thing.
that all the time.
I get that all the time anyway, so I'm not too worried. It happens, you know, comes with the territory. Well, while you were talking, some of these road adventures, do you have any particular road adventure that sticks out the most, whether it's unusual? It doesn't have to be lurid or anything like that, but what is just like the craziest shit you've ever seen? We don't mind if it's lurid either, but I'm just giving you your options. Some stories have to stay on the road, as I've trained everybody my whole life.
Oh, nothing really comes to mind, to be honest with you at this point.
Well, you're lucky. I mean, having been on the road a lot myself, I can tell you a bunch of interesting things. But I won't go into them right now, because I don't like hurting people's reputation 10 years later. You know how it goes. You got to behave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm really, it's great having you on. I commend you on your product, and I think your business model and everything else. The more I look at you guys, I find things that I'm trying to emulate in certain ways. You just have a great company, and obviously you manage it really well. I've dealt with a lot of companies in my life, and you guys are great. And the fact that somebody can call and get either you or